I don't really celebrate Christmas, but for all of you faithful followers, Merry Christmas. So I just talked to my buddy. Um, for those of you in the trucking industry, the market is really bad right now. The industry is on its head. And the only way to make real money right now, and I make good money, but I'm not making the money I should be making doing what I'm doing. So, um, this friend of mine and I, we've known each other for many years. We're both over the road. I got him on with a couple places that I've worked, doing hazmat. And if you were to sign on, let's say you're a driver and you sign on with me and you're cool with Cheyenne in the truck, I can put a lot of money in your pocket. But for me to run team, we have to be taking home on average. We have to be taking home an average of 5 grand each a week for me to want to do team. Got it. It's the numbers have got to be there. Otherwise, you're not sleeping peacefully as a team. There's no way. I'm a light sleeper, and so if I'm gonna run team, I need to be putting 5 grand a week in my pocket, hands down. Uh, as a team, that's not unreasonable. You should be between 5 and 7,500 a week in your pocket after expenses, after everything. 5 to 7,500 a week. Okay. Running solo, you should be doing between 2,200 and 3,500 a week by yourself. Money in your pocket. I'm not talking mileage. So don't get confused here. I'm talking about money in your pocket as an owner operator or as an owner operator team where you guys own the 50-50 of the truck and you're out there humping. You should be bringing home that amount each after expenses. In your pocket, deposit it to your checking account, 5 grand. Okay? Now let's go back to that lump of shit. I could not make money as a team with this idiot because this idiot kept damaging shit and I had to keep that had to come out. And at first we were splitting it. We were splitting the damages. We were splitting the cost of the tires he destroyed. Just splitting all the expenses. And then I stopped splitting it. So the last two times he did damage, he had to eat all of it. He didn't get a check. I said, "How much do you need to get through the week?" "I need $150." So out of the $5,000 potential income he could have had for the week, he'd get $150, and I'd have to put that towards reimbursing me and Johnny Stacks LLC. I had to put that back. And then he just kept going and damaging and drove me right into debt. But this friend of mine and I, we've known each other several years. We've been driving big trucks for about the same amount of time. He wants me to run team with him hard, so he's got 3 years that he wants to bank money away and retire and be with his wife. So his wife, get this, I sent him pictures to prove it. His wife, look, and he is hopelessly in love with his wife. Um, the way that I have been with this waitress. His wife and the waitress look so similar. So he understands how and why I feel the way I feel. He gets it. It's like they're sisters. They're almost the same height and weight. They got very similar facial features. Their hair is very similar. Very similar personalities. I mean, we've talked at great lengths about these two ladies, and they should have been sisters. So, well, anyway, my waitress's history. Nothing I did wrong. Um, but he and I are going to run team, and then he's going to retire. And by then, I should have at least 4, maybe 5 trucks by the time he retires. and I'll have drivers in them. Um, and they're either going to be miles or they're going to be lease, no lease purchases. They're going to pay a deposit. I would have never dreamed of doing that until I hired that lump of shit. But if I like where I'm at when I get there and I'm liking the revenue, I'm going to stay there and I'll probably retire out of there, which will mean I'm not doing hazmat anymore. But I'll be doing high value sensitive loads, some some of them under escort, which means you've got cops in front and behind and you're just pushing the pedal to the floor. So that'd be a different kind of truck driving because you're basically a rolling safe. Those trailers are pretty well bulletproof, but I'm looking at doing that probably within maybe the next 6 months, and I'll be with my buddy, and you know, he loves my dog loves him, so it'll be pretty good. And depending on how things go, I mean, he lives over there in Oklahoma. I think it's Oklahoma. That's where he was born and raised. Maybe he lives in Missouri. But I think it would be easier and smarter if I just relocated over there since we're running teams. So when he goes home, I'm at home like that. And that way we're not trying to get to two different spots in the country. And he lives on like a golf resort. And I'm not a golfer, but I'd be cool with getting drunk and rolling around on a golf cart. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is, man. I have tried batting the golf ball around in the yard, and it's just not my thing. I'd rather pick it up and swing at it like a baseball. I would rather fucking use my golf club to chase a bad guy than to fucking smack a golf ball. So, um, but yeah, I may move further Midwest, which would put me further from the people I care about. But once I start running team, I'm not gonna really have time for the people I care about, except maybe passing through or getting them to get on an airplane and flying them to me, which I'll do. Which, the first person I was willing to do that with was my best friend. And then the next person I've been willing to do that with is the waitress. If things got fucked up for her, she needed out. There's always been money to put her in an airplane and fly her to wherever I am. That's a fact. Well, I don't know. They say everything happens for a reason, and I hope God has a plan because I didn't deserve what I got, and I'm not guilty, and it's grossly unfair. But this fucking CB is just a squeaking away like a bastard, and I can't figure out why. I'm gonna shove some paper under it. Anyway, so here in the next 6 months, I'll have 3 or 4 years with this carrier, and they've been good to me. I've been good to them, but there's no money in the spot market, and I'd rather have contract freight, consistent revenue every week, not fucking $10,000 check one week and then the next 2 weeks $500 checks because there's no freight. I would rather have that high end specialty freight. You're hauling servers for businesses or the military or whatever, artwork from you. I'd rather do that kind of stuff because then I have money, consistent money every week. So I'll get my toys paid up and I'll buy a house and call it good. Oh shit, 10 minutes. That's what I got. Merry Christmas, fucktards.